Welcome to my class, student. It's class 8 English Honeydew. We are doing chapter 3 Glimpses of the Past. This is session 3. In this session we'll come to know more about the glimpses of the past. In the last session you have come to know about Tipu Sultan, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, who wanted to create awareness in India and wanted to say people get united, otherwise the British will ruin us. But it was all of no result, because the British were very clever and they stopped every single thing that was for the awareness of the citizens of India. Let's see how the people cope with this situation. Now, this is dissatisfaction. Because of the oppressive nature of the British people, dissatisfaction came to take its shape in India. All were very much dissatisfied with the new rulers and its rules, because the new ruler, the British people, were always with an intention to make profits. They did never care about the growth of our Indians, the safety of our Indians. The only motive was to snatch money from India, and India was becoming poorer and poorer. The local artisans, the people who were industrialists, they all began to die. Now what happened in 1835-36? Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit. In 1835, an Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change. Earlier, there was Persian language and Sanskrit as a mode of instruction, and these were the thing that the people get educated in these two languages. Now, we should teach natives through the English language. Macaulay in 1835, what did he suggest? English language. Now we have English medium schools, and it was suggested by Macaulay in 1835. Now other person obviously would agree, because he was also a British. English education produced clerks to whom the British gave petty jobs under them. And if the people at that time knew little bit of English, they got the job in government offices, that the offices of the British people, and all the clerical job, petty things were done by them, and they were given salaries. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectuals. See, the thing is that when the people started working in British offices, a section of intellectual peoples have emerged. We must educate our brothers. What they decided, what they used to discuss when they were alone, and try to improve the material conditions. For that, we must convey grievances to the British Parliament. So what they have started understanding the condition of other Indians. So one of them has said, we must educate our brothers. Brothers who? Indians only. And try to improve the material conditions. Others said, yes, they are becoming financially very weak, so we should improve their conditions. And then other one said, in British Parliament, we should convey our grievances. Now what happened? By 1856, the British had conquered the whole of India. See, yellow is so less. These are the states, and the entire one is red or pink. This is your British, and earlier the picture was this much was British, but now the condition is this. All the states, only these were left, and the entire country was under British rule. They cared little about the needs of Indians. Our kings have become puppets, and we had lost our old jobs. Now the kings who are under the British armies, who considered them as their friends, now behaving like puppets. Whatever the British person used to say, the king, they were doing the same thing. They were just like puppets. And lands, they were converting our brothers. You only talk, do something to drive them out. Now, here the group of intellectuals were discussing. Here the common man were discussing what was happening in the country. Our lands were we are losing our lands. And they are converting our brothers. Converting into what? They were just saying our brothers to lose your identity, just to mingle with them by learning English, by behaving like a British person. They were what? They were converting our brothers. The other person is saying, don't say only, do also something. Now the sparks started begin. You know, when something has become very hot, you cannot touch that. The same way, now the oppressive nature of the British started creating sparks in the hearts of our people, of the people who were there in India. Taxes continued to ruin the peasants. In Bengal, the Santals who had lost their lands under new land rules became desperate. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and massacred Europeans and their supporters alike. Yes, it was very natural because their taxes, they said, if we die, let's die after killing them. We have to die. Due to starvation, let's die as a brave soldiers. So what did they do? They started killing the Europeans and their supporters alike, because they have understood these people were of no use for them. They were not taking care of them. Though they were the rulers, they were not defending them. They were not providing food for them and their families. What is the use of having being a slave to this ruler? So they became rebels. And now discontent was brewing in the East Company's army too, because in the army also Indians were there. The white soldier gets huge pay, mentions to live in servants, and while we get pittance and slow promotions. See what happens. The English army men, the English soldiers were getting huge payment, and the Indian soldiers were treated like servants, and they were getting promotions at a very slow pace. The Angrez asked us to cross the seas, which is against our religion. Now another one who said, the Angrez is saying, Angrez means the British people are saying us to cross the sea. And you know, religious preachers have told that it's a sin, we cannot go, we cannot cross. Who is the top walas to abolish our age-old custom? Now, so who are they? This is our age-old custom. How can they abolish that? Means crossing the sea is an age-old custom, but being united is not so necessary. See how the person is referring to a very silly idea, a very silly religious custom. Still, now we must drive out the Angrez. People are starting thinking of driving out the Angrez. How these things in army also it has happening. Thousands of other sepoys revolted. They were stripped of their uniforms. So once they revolted, what the British people do? They were stripped of their uniforms. Sepoy Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant of his regiment and was executed. Mangal Pandey, there is a Hindi movie also on Mangal Pandey. So how did he attack the adjutant of his regiment, and he was executed. Now all the soldiers were humiliated and put in irons. They were बेड़ियाँ जिसको हम बोलते हैं. They were put in irons. Few Englishmen had cared to understand Indian customs or the people's mind. Now the common people have started saying against Englishmen. What they are saying? Very few Englishmen had cared to understand Indian customs or people's mind. Oh, proud Brahmin soldiers, do you know that the grease on the bullet you have to bite is made from the fat of cows and pigs? Now, a new trick was invented by the army, the Englishmen, just to create a fight between that Hindu and Muslim. You know, they made the bullet and the grease on that was made from the fat of cows and pigs. Cows are sacred animal for Hindus and pigs are for Muslims. So, no one was ready to use the bullet because you needed to open it with your mouth and nobody was agreed to do this. The white man had deceived us too. Now the Muslim persons who thought that British were with them started thinking about their deceivedness. See, the white man had deceived us too. Soon chapatis were sent from village to village to tell people that their emperor would want their service. Now, what happened? Yes, all my villages men will be ready. Soon people started sending messages. So, to say, yes, we need to get united. Similarly, lotus flowers circulated among Indian soldiers. That to the foreigner, the masses gave all help and shelter to the patriots. Now, all the masses, the entire India, entire countrymen started helping those who were fighting against the British people. The spark has already started. Now, what happened then? In 1857, then there was a violent outbreak at Meerut. Everything was doing undercover, but in 1857, a violent outbreak at Meerut happened. The sepoys marched to Delhi. Long live our Emperor Bahadur Shah, last Emperor of India, Bahadur Shah. So they started sending messages through different things so that it would not be visible by the Englishmen. So what did they say to all Indian? Yes, our emperor wanted us. They wanted us to fight against the British men, and people started united. And in Meerut, first violent outbreak happened. The rebellion spread wider. Many landlords had lost their lands because of the British policies, and they were sold. Now, the landlords were also now with the countrymen, with the freedom fighters. The white man's rule must end. Yes, we will help you. They all stretched their helping hand to the needy person, those who were fighting against the British men. Now what happened? The fight for freedom in 1857, first war of independence. Many former rulers like Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow were bitter. The white man has taken away my kingdom. They were all angry, and this angry was the root cause of their unity. See, the Englishman made profit from everyone, and they made angry each and every Indian. So what happened? Their oppressive nature became their enemy. If they would be good to us, I don't know what would the history, but because of their nature, because of their wrong ruling policies, everyone were agitated. Everyone wanted to get freedom from them, and it happened. Popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad told the people, "Rise, brothers, rise. The Angrez is ruining our land." They joined the upsoars against the foreigners. Everyone joined the chaos, the agitation that is arising. Everyone joined this fight against the Englishmen. The people rose everywhere in Bareilly, Kanpur, and Allahabad. Azimullah Khan told Tatia Tope, "We should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as our leader in this war of independence." 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar received a bullet in his wrist. Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you. You know, they all were fighting and the bullet hit him. And what he said, Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you. See, you know the story of Kunwar Singh, who was 80 years old. Now, here you are seeing the story comes to an end till the fight for freedom, how it started. This is the part, this is the portion that is being promised at the starting of the chapter. Ki they will give you a glimpse of the past, how the war fight for independence started. So till here the stories. See, all the kings were angry, all the queens were angry, the landlords were against the British people, and everyone get united. They found their leader, Peshwa Nana Sahib, as the leader of their first war of independence, and even 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar was there to fight against the Englishman. He was killed by the bullet in his wrist, and he just cut his wrist, and offered it to Mother Ganga while crossing that. And some portion of his Bihar man, I think I have heard the story. One of the Indians has betrayed the King Kunwar Singh, and he informed the British army that Raja was there. So we all were defeated because of this. Those very few greedy Indians who helped British people, and their help led to the failure of this first war of independence. Now, what we have learned in this chapter, the chapter is ended now. We have learned how the first war of independence started, how the events happened and that led to this. So in the next chapter, in the next class, we will do question answer of this chapter. Till then, have a good revision of this. Go through the story, go through the events, understand the anger of the Indians at that time, and say the stories to others also. In the next class, we will meet again. Thank you.